Right, man. We are live in living color. Welcome everyone to our Builders Call. Andy's theme today on the activity call was planning. The 5 P's, is it 6 P's? Prior planning prevents poor performance. It's really 6 P's, but you know what I'm saying. Man, we all got to have a plan. You got to have a plan to get yourself from point A to point B. I did this video on dead reckoning. So when you're navigating an airplane, so let me kind of cover that analogy. When you navigate an airplane to go from point A, right, to point B, okay, you set out a plan. It's called dead reckoning. And when you're navigating a plane, I mean, this is prior to the days of triple redundant INS, okay? And so planes can be accurate where they're going, but back in the old days, used to dead reckon where they wanted to go. And so what happened is you would triangulate where you are. Okay, this is basic land navigation. So let me just take land navigation and a compass. And then you triangulate where you are by shooting your compass at 3 different locations. For some of you Boy Scouts, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's say this is a mountain. Okay, there's a peak of a mountain here. This is like the edge of a lake. Okay, and this is, say, a water tower. Okay, that's on the map. Whatever. So when you're here, so when you shoot how many degrees from where you are, based on, let's say north is this way, okay, then you find out how many degrees you are from the mountain, and what you do is you lay your map out on the ground, and your map has a true north orientation. And I'm not going to go into like the little, it's like a few degrees here and there, because the magnetic north is not true north. True north and magnetic north are like 2 different things. I'm not going into that detail, but so what happens is you find yourself on the map because of how many degrees you are from this lake, and then how many degrees from north you are here. So what happens is, based on where these lines line up, okay, where they come together is where you are, right? Where they come together is where you exist in the location of the Earth, okay? So before you go from A to B, you got to know where you are, okay? And then once you know where you are, then you want to know where you got to go. So what happens on the map is this is point B, this is point A. So now we know where you are. Now point B is where you want to go, right? Point B. So point B is where you want to go on the map. And then when you draw the line out, okay, when you draw this line out, then you know which direction point B is, okay? So you got to know where you are, and then you want to know where you're going. And then you got to measure where you are every step of the way to make sure you're on track, okay? So in land navigation, now that you know where you're going, you take a look at the map. Let me blow the map up for you. So the map is like this. You've got your latitude, longitude lines, and so you know you need to go be on the map, now that you know where you are based on triangulation. Okay, so so when you land navigate, you can't, like, let's say B is like 5 miles away, you can't like shoot your compass at B, you can't see where you're going. Even like B is a location. In the military, B would be a rally point where you're getting extracted because you're trying to, let's say your plane got crashed on the ground, and you're navigating to the extraction point to get saved. You can't per se see the navigation point. You got to get there. So how you get there is along the way, there are different landmarks that you shoot for. And so you know that along the way there's this little mountain here, and let's say there's a lake here, and then there's some, you know, some kind of landmark here. So what you do is you know that if you hit this mountain or this little peak or this little hill, okay, when you get there, you know you're on track. And then when you get to this little lake, so you know that when you get to the lake, you're on track. And every time you get there, okay, you do another triangulation, to make sure you're where you're supposed to be. And then you go line of sight here, and then sometimes it's a tree, okay? So what happens is you shoot your compass, and let's say this is, that looks like 90 degrees. So this is like 90 degrees from north. So you shoot your compass 90 degrees and you walk towards a tree because the tree is right in line where you need to go. So you walk towards a tree and then you see a little, you know, pile of stones. And so each one of these milestones here that you're trying to get to have little incremental things in between. So when, you know, you see the tree is in line of where you're going, you shoot your compass, you go to the tree, and that might be, you know, 100 yards. And then you shoot your compass again, you see a little pile of rocks. Okay, you get to the pile of rocks, and then you get to this major hill, right? And then you look, see, so the whole thing in land navigation is aiming for something short term so you can get to the long-term destination. But unless you figure out where you are, how are you going to find yourself on the map where you can get to point B, right? So that's that's how this analogy works for the planning thing. You got to plan where you're going. Now, part of the planning is having confidence that the plan will work. So why are you confident? You have to have confidence that the map is a good map. If the map is not a good map, then, and you don't have confidence in it, then you have no idea where you're going because you don't have confidence in the map. So you're probably not going to even start your journey because you don't even know if the map is good. You know, like let's say this is in Denver, this was in Colorado, but you got a map for Arkansas. Well, how are you going to how are you going to do this in a map for Arkansas when you're in Colorado? You can't. So I wouldn't have any confidence in the map, so I wouldn't even start the journey using a map from Arkansas, right? So part of this is having confidence that the map is a good map, okay, and that it's going to get you because it's all mapped out properly, right? And then once you have confidence in the map, then you can have confidence in the process of dead reckoning, okay, and then following to milestone, because you know these are on track for you. Okay, so Alex, that's great, man. Now I know how to land navigate using a compass. You didn't know that it was this complex, right? All right, so how does this apply? Well, the first thing I said is you got to know where you are. So where are you right now? So this is, where are you? So you got to triangulate on where you are, and this is where you got to live in the world of being real, okay, being realistic where you are. It's not being depressed about where you are, right? Because you can get really depressed. No, it's making an accurate assessment of where you are so you can figure out where you need to go, right? So the one video I talked about a couple weeks ago was, or maybe it's 3 or 4 weeks ago, about making an assessment, right, about where you are. Like, be real what you're doing with your time. Okay, so there are 3 things to invest, because when you go embark on a journey, you have to have resources, right? You have to have the time to get there, right? You have to measure the time. You have an objective that you have to get to the rally point to get extracted, the extraction point at, 0800 hours tomorrow morning, right? So you got to measure what time is it now, and then how soon can I get here based on how many miles, right? So you got to plan your time. So maybe you want to get to, this intermediate by, in 3 hours, and then this intermediate by another 3 hours, and then you get to this in another 3 hours, and you finally get to your destination, hopefully an hour early. You want to get there early, not late. If you're late, the helicopter came and went, baby. You missed getting rescued, okay? This is your rescue point. This is how we're going to rescue you from poverty, man. Poverty. So this is where we're going to extract you, but you got to get there, baby. Got to get there. So where are you? Well, I like to figure out where I am based on what I need. So what am I doing with my time? So you need time. You need to invest money, right? And then number 3, you need to invest emotion. Emotion. How do you invest emotion? You got to invest the right kind of emotion. You got to invest passion. You got to invest the type of emotion that gets you over the tough emotions. You got to care. See, the emotion part is not being emotional. It's having the emotion of caring enough about what you want to accomplish, right, and that you're doing the right thing. That kind of emotion. Time, I talk about that. Money. Where are you money-wise? Right? So time is a self-assessment. Where's my time going? Money is where's my money going? And emotion, what am I wasting my emotion on? Am I wasting it on things that don't make a difference? Or I'm investing my emotion in things that make a difference in my life, my family's life, and other people's lives. Okay? So sit down. Figure out where your money's going and how much money you have available to invest in your journey. This, gang, not sorry to say, is sales. Okay, you may not have any extra money from your job, but you're going to be able to make money by selling. That's what I did. I had no room. I had 0 room on my credit cards. I had no credit card extra. Everything I made in this business selling is what I had to invest in my business to build it. Right? So I had to figure out how much money I need to sell, how much money I needed by selling. All right, so the sales part of this thing is how do I cover my nut? What do I need to pay my bills? Right? And then what else do I need to invest in my business, building? I mean, I made it very simple. I'm not going to make this too hard for you, okay? What could cover my nut, and then what do I need to invest in building? You know, the credit card, paying credit cards off was sort of along the way, but kind of down at the end, okay? I would service the debt, but I wouldn't pay the debt off because every amount of money I could put towards building was being able to advance point B sooner than later. It was being able to advance all these intermediate goals sooner than later, so I didn't have to drag this out forever, all right? Now, the thing about this extraction point is that there's a helicopter waiting for you. So we're not going to leave here. We're going to take you, okay? You got to worry about that. We'll always be there, but, man, you got to have the urgency. So what's going to cover your nut? And then how much can I pour into building the business to get me free? And then all the bills and all that stuff, man, I pushed it out. I pushed it out. I pushed it out. To where I was making enough money here was I was able to pay bills in big chunks, okay? But I couldn't do that yet. I needed to have some money to start going. Some of you have to think, you got to think like this. So where are you money-wise? What do you need to cover your nut? Right? And then what do you need to build the business? Okay, you've got ads, Craigslist ads, right? You got, yeah, that's pretty much it, Craigslist ads. And then maybe there's some money to help someone get started with leads, possibly. Kind of however you want to do that. You invest in them with maybe new agent orientation packs or some books or whatever. You know, invest in your people. Right? This isn't going to be a talk on investment, but the idea is, where are you? This is the triangulation. These are 3 triangulations. Okay, you need 3 points to triangulate where you are. Where are you time-wise? Where are you money-wise? And where are you emotion-wise? Okay, like emotion, like are you always freaking out? You know, because if you're always freaking out, you need to control that emotion and invest that emotion into going forward, moving towards something, or creating the emotion of getting away from something. The emotion part, Andy, is you're either a lover or a hater. You're either motivated, this is the theory of motivation. Okay, you love something so much that you want to go for it, or you want to get away from something so much, you hate something so much you want to get away from it. All right? So if you hate it so much, like you hate being broke, man, focus on that emotion to motivate you to do what you need to do. If you love to change the world so much, then focus on that emotion. It'll get you through the tough stuff. So that's what we talk about. Where are you emotionally? Are you a wreck emotionally? Okay, and this is where, what do you do about that? You get around people that are emotionally stable. The other thing that creates emotional stability is consistency. Commitment to continuity yields emotional stability. Okay, so remember, emotion can mean a whole lot of things. What we're talking about is channeling a positive emotion. When fear can be positive, it's channeled correctly. Channeled towards accomplishing what you need to do to get out of your situation or go towards a situation that's way better than what you have now. Like Andy says, you're either a lover or you're a hater. You got to figure out which one motivates you the most, and then you focus on that to get you to do what you need to do, which is getting on the phone, making sales, dialing the phone so you can cover your nut, making sales that you can invest in building money-wise, right? And part of this in sales is planning your time. So you plan your time to make sales and you plan your time to build. You see how this all works together? Do you have the time? Well, that video talked about assessing your time, and then my other module on how to schedule your time, those go hand in hand to figure out the time thing. Okay? So do you see how figuring out where you are time, money, and emotion-wise will help triangulate you where you are? Okay? Let me mute everybody. All right, so now you know where you are. Okay, do you know where you want to go? You've got to know your why. This is why. Why? Why do you want to go here? Right? What is it that you want? When do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because what you want always involves sacrifice. And anything worthwhile, right? Anything worthwhile. If you don't have to pay anything to get something, if you don't have to pay a cost, then in my opinion, it's not worth it. See what I'm saying? Like your appreciation of obtaining a goal, of attaining your why, has to cost something. So what are you willing to pay? Like what Andy said, man, he wanted to be free so bad. He wanted to get out of his financial situation so bad that he was willing to risk his life driving miles, falling asleep in the car, which I can relate to. This is when we were in the Amway business. We would drive miles and miles and miles. We still had to work. We had to get up, show up to work at 8 o'clock. I remember days building that business where I'd go show the plan 6 hours away. And then when I was done showing the plan, about 11 p.m. at night owl, about midnight, I'd drive back, take only one nap, and I'd get to work. And at work in my desk, I had a shaving kit and a towel and my toothbrush. So when I get to work, after showing the plan in the evening and coming back, dead tired, I would go in the bathroom, I'd shave and brush my teeth, right? And I have an extra shirt in the car, so I throw a clean shirt on, and then I go to work. And it was insane the stuff we do to stay awake, because we drive out 4, 5, 6 hours and then come home the next day. That's how insane we were. So there were distributors that were killed. They died because they got in car accidents because they were so sleepy. And this is in the Amway business. Andy was crazy. I was crazy. It's like, why would you risk your life? Because it's worth getting free. It's providing, and it was worth it, right? We believed it was worth it. So what are you willing to sacrifice? I'm not telling you to sacrifice your life or risk your life, but hey, man, like Andy said, we're all dying. There's an end date that's coming. Like mine might be tomorrow, yours might be tomorrow, or God might give you 10 more years, or he might give you 15 more years, right? Or you could be at a concert and you got some insane madman shooting bullets at you, right? Like, you have no clue. Every one of those 59 people went to that concert, and they were probably thinking about, man, we're going to enjoy this concert, and then afterwards we're going to go out and have some fun on the Strip, and we're going to, we're going to go have some late night dinner at Hard Rock Cafe. Then after that, we're going to go to Margaritaville to have some margaritas. That's Jimmy Buffett's place, right? Then we're going to go out and pull some slot machines, and then go home, about 4 or 5 in the morning and sleep in the next day. Like, they had that whole thing planned out until the gunmen started firing on them, right? So their plans were thwarted. Man. So what are you willing to sacrifice? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice, then you're not going to build this thing. You're not going to do what it takes. You're not going to overcome the hard stuff. Because when you start on this path, it's a journey of hardship. Okay, so let me just warn you now. This is a journey of hardship. You're going to go through tough stuff. You're going to go through crazy stuff. Even if you're making money, even if you're making a ton of money, you're still going to go through tough stuff that makes you question what you're doing, or make you, like, try to pull you off your game here. Right? You're going to be attacked by the enemy, giving you fear and doubt, because then if the enemy can kind of curve you off the track, or get you lazy, or let you not put in the sacrifice it takes, then he takes you out of the game, and you don't end up impacting other people's lives, which is what this journey will do in this business, will help you impact other people's lives. Right? So you got to figure this out. What you've got to do, why you want to do it, what you're willing to give up to get it, how long is it going to take you? Now, I'm not saying put a date where you're going to quit. It's not a date where, ultimatum date. I love people that say, well, okay, so I'm going to give it 3 years. And then if I'm not making any money in 3 years, well, then I'm going to quit. I go, well, what if it took you 3 years and 1 month? What if you were 1 month away from making significant money? Well, I'd probably stay in. What if you made it 1 month earlier? Is that, or, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't make $2,000 a month by December 2017, then it's not going to be worth it. Okay, well, what if you're making $1,500 a month? You see what I'm saying? Like, don't have an ultimatum. Don't give yourself an ultimatum. You know what I mean? Don't give yourself an ultimatum, because your ultimatum just gives you an excuse to quit. I'm not talking about ultimatum planning. I'm talking about, I'm going to do this or else I will die. That's about that's the ultimate ultimatum, in my opinion. I'm going to, I don't know what hair lip the governor means. Okay, I don't understand all that stuff, but I do understand dying a little bit. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to sacrifice. So this, to me, is, what are you willing to do to get what it is you want? What are you willing to pay? Like, emotionally, time-wise, and money-wise. See, it comes back to where you are, and then what you're willing to sacrifice are those 3 things you can invest to get here, right? Now, the journey along the way, is the map correct? Yeah, this is the Alliance map. This is the Alliance playbook, right? The map is the 8 steps to success, 8 core values, right? The 3 reasons why we do what we do, the light of day, all right? The most important thing right now we need to focus on is hotspot meetings. The game plan is all on the Alliance playbook. That's the map. The map works, right? The map is a good map. It's a good map because it gets your mind right, right? It gets your mind right to implement this. It equips you, right? Before you go on a journey, you need to equip yourself, and even through the journey, you need to equip yourself, because you need to feed yourself along the way of the journey. You need to have water, or water sources that you've pre-planned, where you got a lake here, a river, or whatever, to sustain you on your journey. You only have so much that you bring with you to the journey, and then you got to replenish yourself along the way. right? The map, this will replenish you. This will keep you going. This will feed you and sustain your thirst. This will give you the energy. This will give you what you need to continue your journey when the toughest stuff. Like you might get hit with a tornado, right? And that lake or that mountain is no longer there, or a landmark you're going for is gone. And it's like, oh my gosh, where am I now? This system, the Alliance Playbook, will get you, the map is a good map. The map is a solid map. Now the points along the way, man, the points along the way, let's talk about that. This is key leader. You're at an 80% commission rate. Okay? If each one does one app a week, everyone does one app a week here. You've got 7 other people, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 besides you that does one app a week, gets you paid. You're going to make $60,000 in overrides and $40,000 in your personal production income for $100,000. Okay, I'm not going to go through the math. You've seen my, if you've been with me, you've seen my video on part-time program to $100,000. And let me ask you, if you're making $100,000 in this business, with that, apart from your job, do you think that that's like a milestone along the way? I mean, that would, to me, would be a great milestone, right? So maybe your milestone along the way is key leader, right? Another milestone along the way, income-wise, would be district manager. Another milestone along, because this all equates to income, right, is EVP. Whatever these milestones are, right, it's part of the map, it's part of building. We're on this call to talk about building key leader. Well, what do you need to go to key leader? Well, one thing is you need to start selling and recruiting. Selling and recruiting, you got to do both. So you got to get to where you're selling and recruiting. So you kind of start there, and then your journey begins. All right, so man, I would have this drawn out everywhere I am. Everywhere, all around me. I have this configuration where I'm staring at. When I wake up in the morning, I have that drawn out with markers on my mirror. So when I'm shaving with my reflection in that key leader structure in the mirror, right? I'd have it taped on the toilet seat. So when I pull the toilet seat up, hopefully you're in the middle of the night, you remember to do that. You pull the toilet seat up, you see the key leader structure in the toilet seat. When you're sitting on the toilet seat, you got the key leader structure taped up to the shower curtain. Okay, I don't know what you're staring at when you know. I'd have it in my car. I'd have it like when my visor's down, I'd have it there. When my visor's up, I'd have it there. I'd have it taped on my dashboard. I would have it all around me. So mentally, I got to get there because I'll make $100,000. Okay? So that's a journey along the way. Okay? Do you understand? Like the whole system is designed for you to the promotion guideline system, all designed for you to get to the milestones along the way. You know, width and depth, the whole idea of getting wide enough to build these legs deep. You know, it's in the Millionaire Maker Manual, which I know I have one in my office here. But you need 6 legs to go executive board member, right? And then you need farm team legs that could potentially fill in legs that might quit, right? These are like your farm team out here, okay? But you're building these legs to China, that's what it looks like. That's the formula of what it looks like, okay? The map, part of the map. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, wow, that's a whole lot of stuff. Okay, let's boil it down. Figure out where you are and let's get to the next step. So what I'm going to do Let's start your journey. So if you're brand new with us, sell and recruit. That's the first thing you need to learn how to do. You need to sell and recruit. The sell part, we need to figure out leads. We need to figure out your skill to help you get there. You need to get leads right away. You need to start dialing the phone to get your skill and booking rates up. You need to get into that mode on a weekly basis. Okay, everything's done weekly, not W-E-A-K-L-Y. It's weekly. Every week you're doing something. Okay, on the recruiting side, we need to show how to place ads, free, and we have the formula down for free Indeed ads. Okay, we need to get you the skill there. Okay, which just really comes from listening to me. I did an interview with one of my guys, and it was a great interview. She hung up, but it was a great interview because, you know, we were talking to someone. A great interview is when you're talking to someone. You know, we're going to get you to excellent when you find the right ones, right? But you got to get this. You got to source people. This could be warm market list, right? This is Craigslist. This is the free Indeed ads. And then you might step up and do the investment in here and then bring your skill up, okay? So you're brand new. You're just getting started. This is what you need to focus on first towards your journey. Your journey, this is like the equipping part. We're going to equip you to start to get the skill where you're able to sustain through the selling part the income to cover your nut and to then invest in the recruiting so you can build your future. Okay, this, your nut, is what you sell to eat, and you recruit. You sell to eat, you recruit for freedom, something like that. You sell to eat, and you build to live. Okay, you sell to eat and you build to live, right? So you sell to eat now, and you build for your future to live. Sell to eat, build to live. I can't believe I forgot that, man. Maybe it's because I'm turning 56, 57. This month of October. Okay, so I'm going to admit to you guys something. Okay, so Hillary Rodham Clinton and I share the same birthday. Oh my gosh. At least it's not the same birthday as Hitler's birthday. I'd hate to have that one. You know, and it's not Jesus' birthday, but oh my gosh, Hillary Clinton's birthday. Hey, I mean, whether you like her or not, anyway. The 26th of October. So if you want to send me a birthday wish on the, well, I take pizza gift cards. Anything to do with pizza, I'm down for that. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited about turning 57. But anyway, so if you're brand new, this is what you need to do. If you've been with us and you're doing this, you're already selling and recruiting. What we need to figure out is how to get you the key leader. Where are we deficient there? What are we doing that you don't have a structure that looks like this, or even substitution rule, where this are 3 unique writing agents, right, and the volume for a BP, so on. So get with me. Let's talk about where we are here to get you there so that you can move on after that. Make sense? Maybe even getting here is you're not doing enough of this. Whatever we need to do, talk to your upline manager, me, and let's figure that part out. So anyway, I'm going to unmute. So let me find out if anyone has any questions. Any questions? Oh, it would make sense. We're going to be out there next week in California. Rancho Cucamonga, well, it's Seattle on Monday, Rancho Cucamonga on Tuesday, Wednesday in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and then Thursday in Las Vegas. So we're going to do this West Coast swing. It's going to be fun. We're going to hang out. We'd love to see you. Hopefully we can see you out there. I got some, let's see if I got some text here. Okay, cool. All right, gang. God bless. Let's do this thing. I'm here to help. Call me early. Call me often. I will encourage you. If you're not feeling good about where you are, call me. If you're feeling great about where you are, call me. Call me. All right, man. God bless. Take care, buddy.